Hello and a very warm welcome to Football This Week. I'm your host Meha Bhardwaj-Otter and it's a power-packed show coming your way today. So just sit tight and relax. Let's begin with the Premier League. And Manchester City are on the verge of becoming arguably the greatest side in Premier League history and Pep Guardiola the greatest manager of the modern era. The best Manchester United teams could not manage to win 4 successive titles despite having dominated for a long time. But City can do it if they win their next game. They are still, though, 1 win away, and Arsenal will be desperately hoping that they slip up.
Now that Manchester City are only a win away from winning an unprecedented 4th English Premier League title, Erling Haaland wants his colleagues to relax. Haaland found the net in the 51st minute and then the 91st minute in the match against Tottenham Hotspurs. With him scoring twice in that win over Tottenham, it has put them on the doorstep of glory. Haaland can afford to keep the champagne on ice ready. But there are numerous instances of clubs failing to close out title triumphs on the last match day. City would be mindful of that. But the marauding team that they are, people are giving little chance of West Ham becoming party pooper on May 19th. Meanwhile, Arsenal would still like to believe the Hammers can do it. Hope springs eternal, they say, though they did what they could with their 1-0 win over Manchester United, who bounced back with a fighting 3-2 win over Tottenham. Arsenal would still need to beat Everton in their final league match, which would be their club record 28th win in a season. But even that would not be enough in case if City win. It must arouse a deflating feeling in Gunners boss Mikel Arteta. For it would be the second time that they have been the second best team to City under Pep Guardiola, who has pointed out that enormity of the achievement should they pull it off, as no English team in the history of their top division league championship has managed to do it so far. Another record of sorts is being set at the bottom of the table, with all the 3 promoted sides of last season heading back to where they came from in the championship. If Luton failed to overturn a 12-goal deficit in goal difference on the final match day, then they would be confirmed of relegation, which Burnley and Sheffield United already have been. It would only be the second time in Premier League history and the first time since 1997-98 that all the 3 clubs that came up last season would get dropped. It only highlights to the growing gap in standards and financial might between the top 2 tiers of English football.
So 1 win away for Manchester City. Can they do it for a 4th successive time? Let's find out from our football expert. He joins us from Germany. We have Philip Waters joining us. Philip, thank you so much for taking the time out once again. What do you make of how close this Premier League title race has gotten? And at this point, I would think everybody would believe that it's Manchester City who are going to create history. Would you agree?
Thanks for having me at first. Yes, I think City will take the cup home, the championship, as the last loss is from December 6th, I think. So if we take 90 minutes, obviously they lost against Real Madrid in the Champions League, but in 90 minutes they never lost since then, since December 6th. So I think the chances are very high, but there's still a potential for Arsenal to hope, as a draw might give them the chance to succeed in the end.
And let's also then talk about Bayer Leverkusen. Philip, I'll just come to you, but Bayer Leverkusen, and they are close to creating history themselves. They are just 3 games away from immortality. That's what their goalkeeper, Lucas Radecki, has summed up ahead of the last few games left in the season, which could cement them as one of the greatest European teams. Leverkusen were confirmed as German champions for more than a month. Now, on Saturday against Augsburg, they can become the first team ever to complete a full Bundesliga campaign unbeaten. As if that wasn't enough, Xabi Alonso's team then plays Atalanta in the Europa League final in Dublin on Wednesday and Kaiserslautern in the German Cup final in Berlin 3 days after that, on the hunt for a historic treble that their coach Alonso said they will find tough to overcome Atlanta in that Europa League final. This after the Italian side knocked out Premier League heavyweights Liverpool and 3 times finalists Olympique de Marseille in the previous rounds. Bayer Leverkusen staged a late comeback to move into the Europa League final with a 2-all home draw against AS Roma and win 4-2 on aggregate.
Die hardste Gegner in Europa. Super Mentalität, eine Trainer, das sie hat sehr klar, was will. Große Kader, sehr intens. Und für jede Gegner, jedes Spiel ist sehr hart. So, wir warten eine super Finale. Und wenn wir spielen in unsere Beste, wir haben eine Chance. Aber es ist sehr eng. Aber es ist normal, es ist ein Finale und wir müssen so gut wie möglich spielen.
All right, Philip, now this is another one. Bayer Leverkusen on the verge of creating history. Just how good this team has been and how dominant they've been, you know, forced to be unbeaten in their domestic league, but in all European competitions. And this was a side that was called as Leverkusen. Now everybody is calling them Never Losing.
Yeah, for sure. It turned around really quick in the last season. So it kind of made a circle as they lost the last time against Bochum last year, and now they won against them 5-0 in the last game. And it just shows, when we mentioned the game against Roma, there was not much time left to play when Stanisic made his goal, and they were through with this 2-1 lead down. They were 2-1 down, but they were still through. But they pushed till the end to keep this streak going, and it shows the mentality of this side. And yeah, unbelievable what they can achieve. And for me, I would say those are 3 finals in 7 days. And yeah, I think it's hard to beat this side, even though as long as this run is going, every opponent now wants this team to lose even more. So it's going to be a tough 3 games from now on.
Yes, there will be tough 3 games, but what that will do if they end up winning this is that they are going to be the only team in the history of European competitions to remain unbeaten. Let's also then talk about Euro 2024, which is being hosted by Germany, and let's take a look at Germany's squad. The only surprise in that preliminary squad which was unveiled was that, you know, the squad has changed a little from the team that beat France and Netherlands in back-to-back friendlies in March, which were Germany's best results for some time, as the 3-time European champions have not won a major trophy since the 2014 World Cup. Thomas Müller, Toni Kroos and Neuer are 3 2014 World Cup champions in that 27-man squad, which must be cut to 26 before the tournament begins on 14th of June. The 20-year-old Alexander Pavlovich, who missed the March friendlies through injury and is still waiting for his first cap, earned a place following his superb form for Bayern Munich. Robert Andrich, Florian Wirtz and Jonathan Tah are the Bayer Leverkusen players in the squad, having helped the Bundesliga champions go through the season unbeaten across all competitions. Then there is Borussia Dortmund's Champions League finalists, Matt Hummels and Bayern Munich's Leon Goretzka. They are the 2 notable absentees. VfB Stuttgart keeper Alexander Nubel, he was named along with Manuel Neuer for Oliver Baumann, Marc-Andre ter Stegen. You know, the coach has said having 4 goalkeepers were crucial for spreading the workload during the tournament. And Germany kick off their Group A campaign in the tournament opener against Scotland on 14th of June. They also play Hungary and Switzerland in the first stage. Let's also find out from Philip what he thinks of that squad. It's a good mix, Philip, to see that, you know, there are experienced players, there are some, you know, exciting, talented young players. But 4 goalkeepers, were you expecting this?
No, I think nobody in Germany expected this, or maybe in the first squad it's okay to have 4 keepers, but that they will also be in the tournament was a little bit surprising, but I understand what Julian Nagelsmann told the media, and I think in the end it's okay. Even though we have talented players as Hummels and Goretzka who got not promoted to the squad, but in the end, I think it's all about the climate in the team and a clear plan. And he communicated it so well, so I think it will be fine in the end. And the players have so much quality, and so I don't think that this will be a matter in the end that we got 4 goalkeepers.
Okay, we're going to let Philip go at this point. Philip, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that analysis. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye.
All right then, N'Golo Kante made a surprise return to the French national team after a 2-year absence as head coach Didier Deschamps unveiled his 25-member European Championship squad with Kylian Mbappe as the captain. Kante, who's back to his national team despite not having played since 2022, joined Al Ittihad this season on a free transfer from Chelsea, where he made 41 appearances and regained his shape. Antoine Griezmann is also back in the squad after missing the friendlies against Germany and Chile in March due to injury. Olivier Giroud, who will leave Europe for the American Major League Soccer side Los Angeles in what will be an end of an era. Indian football captain Sunil Chhetri has decided to hang up his boots after next month's World Cup qualifier against Kuwait. The legend has said his decision was not because of any physical aspect, but more to do with the mental side of things. He said he was fighting with himself, trying to think holistically. Here's a tribute to one of India's greatest footballers of all time.
After a record-breaking, jaw-dropping 2-decade career for his nation, Indian captain Sunil Chhetri has announced his retirement from international football. The most prolific goal scorer in the country, who's carried India's football hopes on his shoulders for 20 years, revealed on Thursday that he will retire following the World Cup qualifying match against Kuwait on 6th of June.
Yeah, one last game against Kuwait. For all our sakes, let's do a good game. Let's win the game, and we can depart happily.
After the greats Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, Chhetri is the third highest active goal scorer in international history with 94 goals. Chhetri has not only inspired a generation of footballers in the country, he's left an indelible mark in the annals of Indian footballing history.
Right from when I was 20 to now when I'm 39, I've been so much loved and encouraged, and people have gone so wild with happiness when I do well. I think it's a great fortune of mine. So thank you to the core group who has helped me to be the kind of player that I became, and for the 19 years. To the fans, to the ones who are thinking that I should retire, I hope it makes you happy.
His incredible goal total from 515 appearances, both club and national, is 252, which means he has managed to score a goal every 2 games, which is a huge achievement in itself. As Indian football gears up to bid farewell to the legend, the time has come to finally face the dreaded question of who will replace one of India's greatest footballers. As the Indian football officialdom tries to find the answer to that question, let's take a moment to celebrate the illustrious career of a once-in-a-lifetime footballer as he walks into the sunset.
And it's a wrap. Good man.
It wasn't because of the physical aspect. And you will see me doing 11 kilometers and all the speed ones at Bangalore FC, especially the way we have played in the last couple of years. I will need to run more. It wasn't about the physical thing. I feel really fit. Running, chasing, defending, the physical part is never too difficult. It takes a little bit of hard work, but it's not too difficult. As I've aged, I've done better. It's not me trying to boost myself with just stats, but it's a mental part. As I said, it started with an instinct. I cannot explain it to you why it came, because even I don't know. When the instinct came that this is it, you should stop. And then I started thinking about a lot of things. But trust me, the physicality wasn't one of them. If it was, I would have openly said it. But it's not. Running, defending, and fighting is the easier part from others in football. If you take care of your body, you will do well. A lot of players in India and worldwide are playing even at an age when a lot of people thought that they should have retired. So I think the difficult part is here. It's not easy. When you grow older, a lot of priorities changes. So all of these minute things became big when the final decision was to be taken. But it started with the next thing. It just came to my head. This is it. This is it, kid. You are done. This is it.
Right, India's largest news network, TV9, has tied up with one of the top leagues in Europe, Bundesliga. The tie-up is to promote German football across India. TV9, along with Bundesliga, is also committed to identifying talents and developing them with outreach efforts and strategic partnerships with schools, clubs, and corporate entities together. TV9, along with Bundesliga, will get you regular footballing action from Germany. There will be exclusive content, which includes interviews and analysis with players and coaches in Bundesliga. TV9 will also engage with Indian football fans through our various interactive initiatives on our large network. Bundesliga will partner with TV9 in the biggest under-14 football talent in the country, the Indian Tigers and Tigresses, where 20 boys and 20 girls will be selected after a rigorous scouting process by European football scouts. The selected kids will get a chance to train in Germany and Austria. They will also play some friendly games with European clubs and meet football legends. This is TV9's commitment to increasing a deep-rooted connection with the beautiful game.
I think I would start answering first, why football?
Yeah.
I think that's an important question for us. As you said, that we are the largest news network, and I believe a news network is supposed to be the social catalyst. We don't have a mission, we don't do anything, but we act as a catalyst. As those of us who studied science, we know that we are there everywhere. We don't change ourselves, but we instigate change. Sports obviously is an integral part of our society. While we understand politics is the main thing, bread and butter of our news network, and we are in the middle of one of the largest dances of democracy, our general election. So we still took time out to, in parallel, run with football. And it always ate me, and it sort of pains me to see that our country, while our ascendance is pretty apparent and vivid in the other aspects of international relations, be it trade, geopolitical importance, I think sports and entertainment, these are the two areas where we need to look at. And amongst sports, as I always say, that I feel football is a game of all games. And it is only a matter of time if all of us come together, and especially news network like us act as a proper catalyst, that India's ascendancy in the football ranking is also impending. So which is why we thought, and collectively with Kaushik and all of you here, that we would focus on this aspect as well.
Okay, time for us to wrap this show up. But as we go, let's take a look at the matches that are coming this weekend and next week. Mark your calendars, 18th of May, which is tomorrow. This is a big one, Leverkusen versus Augsburg, which is at 7 p.m. Can Leverkusen continue their unbeaten run across competitions? And then there is 19th of May, Sunday, the big games. Two big games going right down to the wire. Arsenal versus Everton at 8:30 p.m. Arsenal will need to win this and then hope that Man City lose to West Ham, whereas Manchester City are on the cusp of something special. They are playing West Ham at 8:30 p.m. I think this is the big Super Sunday that we've all been waiting for. Then on 23rd of May, Leverkusen will take on Atlanta in the Europa League final. Can they do a historic treble as they take on Atlanta? That's 23rd of May at 12:30 a.m. So those are the big matches that are coming up this weekend and next week. That's it from us. Hope you enjoyed this bulletin. We love bringing it out to you. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी 9। आजादी पैसे की। अभी डाउनलोड करें।
Has Allu Arjun arrived or he's just taking off?
If I really want to hit a moonshot, I want the moon.
These are big stories.
It's very unique to Indian cinema.
What would be the relevance of tradition?
I would believe that the first change has to come in the mind.
World premiere on the 18th of May, only on News 9 Live at 9 p.m.